Sunday night from 7 to 9, brought to you by Fry Transportation.
Oh my goodness, Amy, it's so good to see you.
Jennifer, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Is your mom doing any better?
Thank you for asking. I don't know if I can answer without being emotional. I'm sorry. I'm just tired and worried. I can't always be there for her, and it's so stressful.
I really understand. That's how I was with my dad. I'd recommend calling St. Barnabas. We did. We started with just having them come in for home care. He was so excited to see them show up. And when he needed more, we were able to move him in at Beaver Meadows, where he still has his own home-like space and excellent care.
Thanks for telling me that. I don't even know how to start, but I have to do something.
Oh, you can just give St. Barnabas a call. They have directors that can explain how it all works. Trust me, you'll feel so much better, and so will your mom.
I'm so glad I ran into you.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700 for care apart from the ordinary.
Pittsburgh Penguins hockey is back on Beaver County Radio.
Crosby out the center. Tried to get around the stick, and McAvoy does. On the backhand, centers in front. Russ flips it on net and scores! That was magical!
Tune in all season long as the revamped Pittsburgh Penguins are on a quest to win their 6th Stanley Cup championship. Penguins hockey on Beaver County Radio is being brought to you by the St. Barnabas Health System, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Patriot Home Care, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the Keystone Wellness Program, and Beaver County Radio.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls. Welcome to the Best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas, a weekly segment dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBVP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Mike Romai to introduce today's program.
Welcome to the Best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas Radio Network. I'm Mike Romai, and every Thursday we get together with folks from Beaver County just to talk, find out who they are, where they've been, and how much they do for Beaver County. And the guy we have in here this morning, I've known for a long time, seen him around, and you probably have too. In fact, you might be driving a car that he sold you. His name is PJ Latsko, and he's from Beaver County Auto. PJ, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Good to see you. Good to see you in the studio.
We've been working on this for quite some time.
Yeah, but that's all right. You got a busy schedule. You're a busy man. You look a little tanned. I think you were down south a little bit.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
So we bring people on to talk, like you, to talk to you about things that you've done. We were talking off the air just a little bit, and some of the programs that you've been involved with here in the past. You mentioned Bob Barrickman's name and the Coach's Corners down at Roberts and a lot of stuff like that. Good memories.
Yeah, well, we started out in Beaver County February 5th, 1999, we bought the old Linda Jones Chrysler store downtown, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and then we moved to Chippewa in 2001, made the old facility our body shop, so we're still operating out of the old facility down in Beaver Falls. Then we added Nissan in 2003. We added the Beaver Valley Auto Mall in 2010.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of things going on in Beaver County.
That's amazing. And you mentioned Linda Jones, and it's been so long since I've heard that name in that corner store down there as you go around the bend to Stephen Hill.
Yep, right there.
Yeah.
That's our body shop now.
Oh, and her dad was the dealer owner before that, wasn't he?
Chuck
Jones, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. And you've been in it how long? When did you first start selling cars?
I started selling cars in 93 in Newcastle for the Preston organization.
Mm-hmm.
So when we came down here, it was Preston Dodge. He was my partner, and I ended up buying him out, and it's been all mine since 2005, and we've had a lot of good years, and we appreciate everything Beaver County's done for us.
Yeah. How did you know at a young age, whether it was in high school or college, how did you know I want to sell cars for a living?
Actually, it's a crazy, I never knew that.
Yeah.
When I got out of college in 1987, I was like everybody else. I was just looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a job at GMAC in Pittsburgh, which was the financing arm of General Motors, and I was in collections. So we collected, we repoed cars, we did floor plan checks at the dealership. They had a great benefit back then where they would pay for your college if you wanted to go to school. So I let them pay for my MBA at Duquesne, and when I was at Duquesne for those 4 years, I went to night school for 4 years to get my MBA. You know, you meet people and you network and you figure out that maybe collections and repoing cars isn't a future you want to get into. So started looking around.
Is that because we see it on, like YouTube and stuff like that, guys sneaking out to try and repo a car.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a tough road to hoe?
Yeah, we had I mean, of course, you always try to collect the money first.
Yeah.
Repo's the last alternative. But, I mean, we would have to go, if someone was hiding their cars from us, we would have to go to the dealerships and get keys cut and go at night or go during the day, figure out where they work or where they live, and just take the car.
Yeah.
I don't think they do that anymore, though. I think they hire that out.
No, probably better that way.
Well, it's more dangerous these days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
everybody's got a gun.
Too much liability.
Yeah, yeah. So do you remember some of the toughest or one of the toughest ones you had to repo?
Oh, there's so many, but the toughest areas, I mean, we had... we had parts of the Mount Oliver. We had the Hill District.
You went in some dangerous places.
I had all of Beaver County, too. So, I mean, and I'm from Newcastle. I grew up in Newcastle. So we had that. And honestly, you can never tell when people are going to fall on hard times and not be able to make their payments. So the area that they live in, I mean, we repossessed cars from people that had beautiful houses and great jobs, but they just
let the car payment go.
They fell on hard time. I mean, you lose a job and you miss 6 months of work and, the downsize. And I remember when U.S. Air was going downsizing, that was a big deal because U.S. Air was a great employee or a great employer, and their people made really good money. So when they laid off a lot of people, that drastically affected people being able to make their payments.
Interesting. And how has the business changed through all these years?
Well, the retail business, I mean, we've been blessed to have really good retail business in Beaver County since 1999. And the reason is, I mean, I have great employees. I mean, our employees are top-notch, and most 90% of them are from Beaver County. And we have a good service department. We have a rental car department. We have a great body shop. And most of my key people are still with me. I mean, that's 25 years.
Right. Yeah.
I still have, technicians and my, people in the body shop, my managers, my sales managers, my controller. I mean, they've been with me for 25 years. So
you got to be a people person to be a car salesman.
You really do, and you have to come to work because it's mostly commission, and it's you put in the first 2-3 years. That's the tough part. Then you get the repeat business, and you have to be. It's easy to sell one car, but when someone has a problem with their car, that's when you can figure out if the person you bought the car is for real. So when they call you with a problem, you have to take that opportunity and help the customer out. Yeah. So
I heard a guy who's a car salesman at one time say, "You can't do this job part-time. You got to put the hours in. You got to be on the lot because when people want to buy a car, you got to be there to sell it to them."
Well, you have to be at work, but I mean, these days, I mean, that's one of the ways the business has changed. Because even during COVID, I mean, so many people are working from home now. And with all the electronics, like we all have our cell phone here right now, you can work from not at the dealership. But you still have to come to the dealership to buy. I mean, we can sell cars over the internet. It's been done. We can deliver the car, but I don't know too many people because the average price of a new car these days, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. Who's going to pay that money without actually coming to see the car, to touch the car, to drive the car,
right?
To make sure it fits in what you're trying to accomplish.
Competition-wise, now that you've got all these places that are selling cars from out of state, and you can do it online, and you see the television commercials for them.
Yes.
How does that impact your business, being a local businessman?
Well, I mean, I think everybody's conditioned to buy a lot of things over the internet now, right? Online.
Yeah.
You get online, you can buy a car from whatever state you want. I mean, we've sold cars to customers in Michigan, in Ohio, in Florida, in Texas. Not a lot, but I mean, it happens. If you have a specialty car, now you're not going to sell the car that you can go to any dealership and find, because it's not a specialty car.
Yeah.
The specialty cars people will travel for. Now, I think we're finding with companies like Vroom going out of business, and with the Carvana having all the trouble that they had, and do they do the paperwork correctly? Do you pay the taxes? Do you get a title? I mean, there's a lot of benefits to going to the local dealer, because if you buy from the local dealer, you can service with the local dealer.
Right.
And I mean, these big companies like Carvana and Vroom and the ones that sell everything online, I mean, they don't invest any money in the community.
Yeah. Right.
They're not sponsoring baseball teams, basketball teams, football teams, high school band, the
just
hockey
taking the money
teams. Who do you call? I mean, some of these people you can't even call. You just got to email them.
And so you're right. I mean, if you have service that needs done on the car, are you going to drive it to Florida, Texas, someplace like that where you bought it?
Well, no, they're gonna come to the local dealer. But if you have that relationship already built, that you bought the car from them, you're gonna get better. You're gonna get better attention.
And you know that everything is done right. So it's all in house with Beaver County Auto.
Yeah, we have full.
You sell it. You go to the sales manager. They fill out the forms for you. They send it to the state. Whatever needs sent to the state. The
we
taxes.
do everything right there. We do the sales, service, body shop, parts, rental cars. We have everything.
Yeah, the car business, and you've been in it for, like you said, over 25 years. It fluctuates with a lot of things. There's a lot of things that roll into selling a car, buying a car, and all that. We just recently went through the pandemic, and then we heard about supply side shortages. So that all impacts the work that you do.
It sure does. And throughout the years, I mean, we've been through a lot of things just at our dealership. I mean, Nissan has been pretty stable, but they went through a big turnover probably 5 years ago when the CEO got in all the trouble for he was taking money from the business.
Yeah.
Now Chrysler has been Chrysler. It got sold to Cerberus. It got sold to the Daimler. Then it got sold to, now it's called Stellantis, which is based in Europe. Everything used to be based out of Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We knew everybody. We knew our Pittsburgh zone manager. We knew our business center manager. We knew the guys in Detroit. Now we know our local manager. We know our business manager in Washington, D.C. We don't know anybody in Detroit anymore, because Detroit really doesn't run the business. It's run in Europe.
Yeah.
So it's taken the dealer a little bit out of the equation. The thing with the COVID, the supply went down. I mean, they shut us down. The state of Pennsylvania shut us down for 6 weeks. We weren't allowed to sell cars.
Yeah.
And then when we came back, supply got to where at some points we had less than 100 cars on the lot between both dealerships. We used to run with 400, 500 cars on the lot.
Yeah.
And interest rates were super low. So it wasn't that expensive to keep inventory like that. The big issue we're faced now, everything's built back up. And with the Fed constantly, they're saying inflation is making them raise the rates. Everybody out there that has a car loan or a mortgage or a loan on anything, I mean, you've seen your payments go up and up and up because interest rates went from 2%. Now the best rate you can get is 6 or 7. That's a substantial payment bump when you're looking at a lease or you're looking at buying a car. And your average new car is $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 now. I mean, it's not. When I started, people wanted a payment to be $200.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those days are past.
Those days are gone.
Yeah.
Then it was $300. Then it was, hey, I'm paying cash. Now's tax season. Yeah. So we're busy with people getting their tax refunds. It used to be I want a $10,000 car. Well, there really is very, very limited.
Not even
because
used.
Not used. Well, state of Pennsylvania, you have to inspect the car. So it's not like Ohio where you go buy a car, they just sell it to you, see you later, bye. Good luck with what you have.
Yeah.
Okay, because then those people got to come to Pennsylvania, get it inspected.
So when really, they find out what they bought.
Yeah. I mean, now it's hard to find a $15,000 car.
Yeah. Our guest is PJ Latsko from Beaver County Auto. We're going to take a break and then continue getting an education on the car business and finding out more about PJ on the Beaver County Best of Beaver County show on the St. Barnabas Radio Network.
Oh my goodness, Amy, it's so good to see you.
Jennifer, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Is your mom doing any better?
Thank you for asking. I don't know if I can answer without being emotional. I'm sorry. I'm just tired and worried. I can't always be there for her, and it's so stressful.
I really understand. That's how I was with my dad. I'd recommend calling St. Barnabas. We did. We started with just having them come in for home care. He was so excited to see them show up. And when he needed more, we were able to move him in at Beaver Meadows, where he still has his own home-like space and excellent care.
Thanks for telling me that. I don't even know how to start, but I have to do something.
Oh, you can just give St. Barnabas a call. They have directors that can explain how it all works. Trust me, you'll feel so much better, and so will your mom.
I'm so glad I ran into you.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700 for care apart from the ordinary.
PJ Latsko is our guest on the Best of Beaver County, the owner of Beaver County Auto, several locations to serve you. He's been here since 1985?
1999.
1999. You're a Beaver County resident.
I am now. I live in Chippewa.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Newcastle.
You grew up with Larry Kelly.
I do. Larry's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's on here once a month, and he rarely talks about the law business. He talks about Newcastle sports.
I know he talks.
Yeah, he does talk. Yeah. You made this a family business then over the years?
My brother works with me, but that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. Tough business to raise a family in, to be a family person?
Well, you have to really want to do it. I mean, it's not for everybody, and it's really hard to work with relatives. I mean, it is. It is.
Yeah. Okay, so when we talk about buying a car, and we were talking before the break about how much a car payment is nowadays and the interest rates affected and all that stuff. What else, over the years, if you were in the business back in the 50s or in the 80s, whatever, interest rates were a lot higher back in those days, and everybody wanted an American-made car. And you probably still hear that today. Your salespeople still hear, this guy wants an American-made car. There's hardly anything made in the U.S. anymore.
You're correct. So when I told you when I graduated college, I went to work for GMAC. General Motors from So I worked for GMAC from 87 to 93. General Motors had 50% of the market in the United States. 50%.
Yeah.
But they also had, now since then, they've lost Pontiac. They've lost Oldsmobile. They've lost Saturn.
Yeah.
And the foreign competition has gotten way better.
Yeah. And you mentioned Pontiac, and I had a Bonneville in 1980. Beautiful car.
My first car was a Grand Am.
Yeah.
My mom had a Bonneville.
Yeah. I had an Oldsmobile Tornado
Yes.
from 1974. It was a beautiful car. Big.
You were a baller back then if you were driving a Tornado.
I'm telling you, though. But, yeah, you just a land yacht. You would just cruise along the roads.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And I love watching them older movies that have the cars from the 50s and 60s and 70s. And, I mean, the cars were so beautiful back then. But, I mean, now, how much is it going to cost to drive that car with gas at,
My wife reminds me of that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Yeah. But you also, electric vehicles.
Yeah.
On your lots,
We
what
sell some.
percentage, are people still as interested, or are they getting more interested
I
in
would
it?
say that full electric cars are a little, I don't want to say overrated, but I think that the government is more pushing, hey, we want electric, without knowing, okay, so you're going to buy electric, so where are you going to charge it? How far are you going to go? And where am I going to charge it when I run out of gas or run out of electric in 150 miles? It's not that easy to figure out. Like if you, we do have a couple all electric cars, and if you say you want to take a trip to the Outer Banks, you have to plan your trip around where you're going to charge your car.
Right. Yeah.
And then every time you charge, you better have an hour. Yeah, an hour or more to plug it in.
Yeah.
And then wait.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that? I'll tell you what's popular are the hybrids.
Yeah.
Hybrids a great idea. We sell lots of hybrids. And you can run those on gas. You don't even have to run the electric. But you still need to charge it every once in a while. And I guess I'm just, I'm an old timer.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what we found out over the winter in western Pennsylvania and other states, actually, where it goes down below 20 degrees and you're not going to get that charge in your battery.
You're not. And it's not going to go as far. And we have a lot of hills in Pennsylvania. There's a lot of hills in West Virginia. Now, if you're in Florida or if you're in Texas or if you're in California, California gas is like $8 a gallon. It probably makes sense to drive an electric car.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive here. And people still want gas.
Yeah. And you go to, where you're located, you can just go 10 minutes down the road to East Palestine.
Yeah, you go to East Palestine or
gas.
Over by Boardman, and you get gas for 50 cents to $1 cheaper than Pennsylvania. We need to fix that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Take away those taxes.
Yeah, let's get the governor in here and see what we can do about that.
What is it that people don't understand most about car dealership? Because you're talking about a lot of governmental regulations involved here, which increase the prices.
Yeah, I think consumers know pretty much. They know a lot more now than they used to because there's so much more information available online. And that's good. There's blogs and there's people talking about social media and what the one good thing is you don't get away with anything because if something's bad, it gets on the internet and there's
a recall
everywhere.
Somewhere. Yeah,
it's like my AT&T phone this morning that lost service.
Yeah,
it's all over the United States. I wake up this morning, it's on my phone. Now I know why my phone's not working. Which not having a phone for a couple of days might be a good thing.
Right, and you remember those days too. You're talking
I
about
love
going
those
back in the
days.
days where you weren't connected to anybody.
You had landlines.
Yeah.
That's all you had.
Yeah, you weren't available to somebody 24/7.
Right.
Yeah, crazy. So, what's the future for Beaver County Auto? What do you want people to know, at this time and going forward?
The future is that we're still in business. We're still available for service. We're still sponsoring baseball teams in school. I mean, we have decided that, I mean, we get hit up every day for donations for this and donations for that. We concentrate mostly on schools and kids, the younger people that need help. Another organization I'm involved in is the YMCA. I'm on the board of directors at the Beaver County YMCA, and that is a fantastic organization. Right now, they're having their campaign to raise money right now, and a lot of people don't understand that in the Beaver County YMCA provided 140,000 meals for kids last year.
People don't know that. I didn't know that.
That's 2,000 a day.
Yeah. A lot of kids going through there.
There's a lot of kids that need food.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
right.
I mean, and it's not just in the summer when they have the playgrounds, and I mean, it's every day when the kids come down for, dropped off before they go to school or preschool. There's I think, one thing that I've learned, I've been on the board for a couple years. Beaver County's a great place. People care. And I think spreading the word about something like that, I was shocked when I found out, because I'm never hungry. I mean, I never worry about food.
Yeah.
My
we
people
don't see
that work for me, we have, I mean, look at me. I mean, we got plenty of food.
Yeah.
You would never think food's an issue.
If you don't see it, it doesn't exist. Yeah.
And it opens your eyes. And when it's little kids, that's not fair.
Right.
And we need to help those people. So if anybody comes around hitting up for YMCA donations, it's a real deal. 90+% of the money stays in the Y. I mean, that's big for a nonprofit.
Sure.
There's some nonprofits that none of the money stays.
Yeah. Goes to overhead and salaries and things like that. Yep.
Right. Mike runs a tight ship down there, and it's a great organization. So I just wanted to throw that little plug in.
And so when we see Beaver County Auto around on posters, billboards, are you into the scoreboards or anything like that? You got your money, your money and your product up there?
Yeah, we sponsored we helped sponsor the new field down in Aliquippa.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the Heinz Field.
That is a fantastic field. I mean, that project was fantastic. And their teams are pretty good, too.
Yeah, well, I think so. 5A now, right?
Well, that might not be so fair if you ask me, but
it
we'll see what happens.
Helps some of the other schools in the division here in Beaver County.
If you go by their enrollment, they should be 1A.
Yeah.
They play up to 2A. They win so much, they move them to 3 and 4. Now moving to 5 against schools that have
higher
5 times as many kids might not be safe for the kids, right? I mean,
I hear you. Yeah. Beaver County Auto, look for their signage at all these sporting events, Beaver County YMCA, and all the other good things you do, PJ. Thank you so much.
Yeah, if anybody needs any information, it's beavercountyauto.com. You can reach us anywhere.
You got it. Thank you for coming in.
Hey, thanks for inviting me.
All right. PJ Latsko, Beaver County Auto, the best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas Radio Network.
Thank you for listening to the Best of Beaver County.